objective is by within the next year to make sure that there is a foundation degree programme of this type running in every English region. My territorial ambitions run no further than England. We are talking to colleagues in Wales, Scotland and Northern Ireland, and I think we find willing partners there to help us to extend to all 4 nations of the United Kingdom. But our medium-term aspiration, that's a really important sort of landmark for us. Now it's quite interesting that if you reflect on where we started this journey, then, it's now about 5 years ago. It's a real contrast. It just goes to show how things change. 5 years ago, John Prescott was then Deputy Prime Minister, and he asked me to chair what was then called the Academy for Sustainable Communities. And the Academy was created because the Deputy Prime Minister and indeed the Prime Minister both recognised the importance of trying to enhance the skills and knowledge base across the sustainable communities and regeneration sector. And indeed, of course, the point, John, is that sustainable communities is far wider than the built environment. It includes all of the activities and professional areas that your department and indeed the rest of this university encompass. 102 or 103 professions, depending on how you define it, disciplines and professions, I should say. And clearly the objective in creating the Academy for Sustainable Communities was to try to break in to the problems that had beset us, especially in the boom days. As I say, things change over time. In those days, you couldn't hire social work professionals, you probably still can't. You couldn't hire planners, quantity surveyors, architects, project managers, or whatever. Now there are more available, but again, there's not a huge surplus. There's still a deficit in certain areas. And most importantly, there's a real need to make sure that we don't slip back to the position where we're having to hire people from abroad on short-term contracts rather than taking the trouble to train our own. So the foundation degree, in a sense, is really the final outcome of the initiative which originally was set up in 2005. The foundation degree is a hugely important part of that skills and knowledge supply chain. From school, where you can gain an initial understanding of some of the issues that drive better communities and better places, through initial training, through the foundation degree, into degree and postgraduate work, and then of course into lifelong learning and development, which is a fundamentally important part of our offering. But the foundation degree is a really pivotal point in terms of the skills pathway that individuals go through. So the foundation degree is a hugely important element of the work that we now undertake. The AFC is no longer. It joined English Partnerships and the Housing Corporation just over 12 months ago to form the new Homes and Communities Agency. And as part of the Homes and Communities Agency, we have a responsibility for making sure that we connect the academic and education world to the practice world. That's what we are. We're the sort of super glue, hopefully, that connects one to the other. But we're not just a sort of impenetrable super glue, we're a very permeable super glue. So we hope that good practice and indeed knowledge about how to avoid bad practice filters back from the professional world and the world of activity down at the community level back into education. The Homes and Communities Agency, for those of you who don't know it, is actually the major provider of affordable housing, not just in Britain but in Western Europe. And indeed, at the moment, in the current market, with the stalled private housing market, we're actually the major provider of housing. We are delivering something like 63,000 housing units this year, working with, again, our partners right down at the community level. The HCA is seen by many people as a housing and regeneration body. But I always remind people that we actually have a statutory duty. It's there in the Act to promote skills and knowledge in the sustainable communities and regeneration sector. And the important thing is, we can't do this alone. The Skills and Knowledge Directorate, of which the HCA Academy is part, has a total staff complement of less than 50 people. So we're never going to be able to do that alone. That would be, even if we split them up, you know, allocated all our staff, it would be 5 people for an entire region, 5 people for the whole of London. Well, you know, they're going to make any other form of missionary look well staffed. So, you know, we depend on our partners, like London Met, to help us to deliver with you, John, and your colleagues, to these alliances. We have this sort of constellation now of powerful delivery vehicles across England. The foundation degree programme is really important for us. It's a major element in delivering what we call the Skills Action Plan, SCAP.